You were busy this week. You actually went to Memorial Field. That's the what happened.
Yeah, that's my daily visit.
Right. That's the what happened. And you first you did a report. You haven't been here. You did a detailed investigative report or whatever.
Yeah.
Then you went back this week and you found some stuff and dug up some tires and sandals and bricks and some other stuff.
Oh yeah.
And then and a lot of people were very upset because you had mentioned there was not even a gate closing anybody from getting in and out, whether it was the dump or for people keeping people safe, because it's a work area, they can't go in. And we ran the story, and hours later there's a gate.
Yeah,
so
we gotta thank Commissioner Morton for that. He acted quickly, responsibly, and followed through and made sure that the field is now secure, which is good. We were out there again for another tour yesterday, actually.
Right.
Along with Lyndon and City Council President and a few others, we all went out to the field to look and assess everything that's going on at the field, regarding even the tennis center.
I think that's important because I don't think that's ever been done where all of y'all have gone and looked at everything together.
Yeah, because you know what it is? Ernie's no longer there. This is not Richie's baby. And Richie couldn't come yesterday. He was going to come, but, I understand he has family obligations.
Right.
And I know how it is. He's got 2 kids.
Right. One is a newborn.
One's a newborn, and he's in City Hall all day, and his wife is probably pissed off and would hit him with a frying pan if he stay out. Because I know I get a whole big thing when I'm out too much. So I understand.
How long does it take to get some shrimp?
Oh, don't start that again. But everybody else was there, and we got a chance to walk through. We got a chance to look at what's going to happen, how we can do things, how we can come up with stuff, new ideas, and try to push this thing forward. My vision for Memorial Field is I would like to see the ribbon cut and the game start for 2017, going into the spring, summer. So this way, once the kids come out of school, they have a field to go into. And it's very possible, but we all got to work together to make it happen. We have some things that we're going to be dealing with, but the progress will still be moving forward. The field renovations and everything will still be moving forward, and we're going to get this done. We're going to get it done.
One of the things you were saying that when you first went there and you were talking to the contractors, I believe it was.
Yeah.
And you said, I think you were trying to get a timeline on the completion of the tennis court and the tennis bubble that goes over the court. Did you actually get some?
I feel bad for Kayla, the people who have a contract
tennis,
for that.
Yeah.
Because they were supposed to be, according to what the city's duties are, we were supposed to be finished with that back in September.
We interviewed Beauvais in August, and he said the entire thing would be done, the roof and everything, by the end of September.
Well, it was.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be done, and it's not done. And they're losing lots of money. The city is losing lots of money. And I'm a numbers guy, so I'm just in business. I'm just looking at the numbers and the amount of money, and it's hurting my heart. So I'm just like, hey, how can we move this forward, get this stuff done, get this field open, get the tennis going, allow them to pay their rent, allow the city to collect the money, and right now it's not doing anybody any good, not complete. You see, right. we should be. This is a field that we can make astronomical amount of money if we do this thing the right way. Well, not astronomical, but a lot of money off of it.
But
it should be able to
money could be coming in.
All right. Now, what is and we talked about this before with the Memorial Field and actually the contract with the county and the responsibility that the city has with taking over some county property. Now, is that still in effect?
On which one you're talking about?
With Memorial Field itself and receiving the funds, moving forward and receiving the funds, and because I hear different things about the actual agreement between the county and the city, and as far as the city taking over different roads and having.
Yeah, well, we're responsible for, like, I think it's 4 miles of county road. Which county roads in Mount Vernon is like Route 22,
right.
Part of Lincoln Avenue. Well, basically where all the big trucks go through.
Right.
So that is something that we have now taken on, I believe. So I just but I still have to look at the contract in detail. I haven't had a chance to really go through it in detail, but I will. That's one of my things that I'm looking at as well. But that's mainly I don't want to throw it on Richard Thomas, but that's mainly a Richie Thomas issue, because he's going to have to, at the end of the day, take care of these streets and make sure that these potholes are taken care of. Which,
right.
He stated in when he ran his election, and he still said campaigning, and he said after campaigning that is a focus of his and the quality of life. And if that is what he wants to do, I'm going to support him in trying to get that done, to make sure that we do have great roads for our community. And then we'll go from there.
Okay.
We'll go from there.
All right. Now, in your report, there's a picture on Black Westchester with you with this big tire.
I just shared it on the site. I just shared it too.
Yeah. You with this big tire. What's that about, man? Where the hell did that tire come from?
Because I spent most of that morning in DPW office going back and forth with everybody about what's in that field, and some people haven't read the report. And I said, listen, there's a lot of garbage under there, and they were arguing with me like, no, there's not. So I said, listen, I'll tell you what. We're going to go out there. We're going to dig up some stuff, get a shovel. Let's go out there. So we went out there. It was me and Joe Pemberton from DPW, and it was the funniest thing. We went on the hill. He took out the shovel, and the first hole we started digging, we pull up a car wheel with the rim, the whole tire. Then we dig a little more. We pull up a car spring. Then we pull up some other rebar and all kinds of stuff. So he was like,
"You get ready to pull up the whole car, right?"
Right.
It was funny though, because he said, "I don't want to dig no more, Andre, because we might find something we don't want to see."
So the other rumor going around is that's really the place that Hoffa's buried. Everybody trying to find Hoffa.
Hoffa was buried in Memorial Field.
Yeah. I actually got a letter going out.
They couldn't find him in Giant Stadium, so now we know why. He was in the Memorial Field all this time.
Yeah,
in the landfill. Yeah,
that's it. I got a letter going out to all the officials, including Richard Thomas, that I got dibs on this. This is my Geraldo story. I'm gonna go under there and I'm gonna find them. I want the money. I want the book rights. But there's a lot of stuff under there. So we were actually having a good conversation on how we're gonna tackle that particular mountain, and I think we're gonna get it accomplished soon.
Let me ask you a specific question. Now that we had the soil thing and we had all this other conversation, now that it's coming out that there was actually a landfill that it was built over, and I'm asking because there's a lot of speculation and people don't know. So I'm sure that the regulations at that point weren't what they are today. So now that we know, does something have to be done like before you can build on it now? I mean, can you just build on it knowing that it's there? Or do you have to take certain particular steps now? Or
you can build on it. Look, Corp City's built on a landfill, and it's okay. There's a lot of places that's built on landfills.
Okay. That's why bodies keep coming up. No, I'm just playing.
No, wires ain't coming up. But there's enough topping on it. It's safe. And I'm sure back in the day they wouldn't have done it if it wasn't safe. Right now, what we're just focusing on is that gigantic mound that appeared. We know how it got there. We know who did it. And we will be subpoenaing people. So the list is almost ready. I'm finishing up the last of the list, and they're not going to get away. They're not going to get away.
Now I have to ask. Can't let you without asking our tough questions. So last time you were here, and we had you were here when we had Ernie Davis. It was the day before his legacy dinner, and we kind of interviewed him like as a good send off. And I think in that show, but I don't remember, when the talk of the soil and it was costing $2 million to remove and all that stuff, and you were saying I can have some people come in right now and remove it for free and stuff like that. One in particular, Butch, but a lot of people said, how can you say that? How can you do that? And there's been a lot of, you caught it some social media flack over that, whether you know it or not. So I'm giving you a chance to address that. Like, explain that, because people are saying, how would you say that was irresponsible for you to say, stuff like that?
Well, I'm not going to like lash back or anything.
No. I just want to deal with the facts.
Because see, the thing about it is, this is my field. This is what I do. They don't do this, and there's a difference in terminology and in what I was saying. And it was interesting because when I went to the forum that Lyndon and Richie was having at the church, a woman stopped me outside and was having this conversation and told me, you know, because they brought up something that I said the soil was good. I never said the soil was good. You can check your record. You could check Black Westchester things. You could check everything I said. I said the item 4 was clean. And the item 4 is clean because yesterday's conversation that we had was, everybody looked at it, they know it. We're going to try to scoop that up, save it, put it to the top, use that when we knock down the stands. So it's all.
We actually had that conversation. I said,
right.
Are you worried about getting it? You said you get most of it, leave some of it down, but you get all the stuff at the top.
Correct.
And reuse it.
Correct.
Yeah.
So when I'm looking at that, and I've always said the stuff on the top is clean. Okay, what was under it, I made that clear to everybody. I said we would have to do a bore test and check it. We have to go down and see what's under it, because I wasn't at the time privy to exactly all the stuff that's under there. But since the investigation and me walking back and forth to a memorial field with the shovel and different days and digging and, you know, looking like an archaeologist. You know,
with the hat with the light.
Hey, I needed a little hat with the light and all that. And doing the full investigation, I could see what's there. I could see what's under. Now, is it gonna cost all that amount of money? It could, but it's not gonna happen because we're not going to allow those people who put it there to get away with this. This is not gonna happen. You know, and so the approach we're gonna do is
that you have all Rich, the mayor, the county legislator, you have all you're all on the same point.
Agree with
on that point.
We all agree
the person
with that.
who put it there,
see,
should be responsible.
Let me just say this: if any of those folks are listening to this radio station right now,
some of their representatives are. They're not, but yeah.
Okay, let me make this clear. I already know who did it. I know the members. I know all the people involved. I have the pictures. I have the videos. We have everything. When we subpoena you, it's not for you to tell us what happened. We already know what happened. I just want to see if you're going to lie. That's the bottom line. And we just need to get some other things in. That's it. We already know who it is. We know all of the companies involved. We know all of the people. So if they think that they're going to get away, we're going to give them an opportunity to clean it up or go to jail. That's it. You got those two opportunities, and I know because I spoke to Mayor Thomas about it. He's got my back on this. County Legislator Williams got my back on this. We all know, and I'm sharing information back and forth with them so that we're all on the same page. This is something that the council, the mayor, county legislator, I want to make sure that our senator that represents it knows, and everybody knows what we have to do, because this is not going to be tolerated. You know, we have to make an example of those who did this. Bottom line, and then prove to everybody that this is not going to happen anymore. You know, let me tell you, somebody got to get shot. That's what it comes down to. You got to hang somebody up. So people will understand that you're not going to come to our town and do this anymore. Those days are over. That's it.
Well, look, the most encouraging thing that I've heard all of this, and out of all the times, because we've had most of the players, Lyndon's been here, Thomas has been here several times as a councilman, has not been here as mayor. Mayor Davis was here. You've been here a few times. There was always this one. It was a lot of this is the first conversation that I've been privy to since the interviews that I've been doing that I'm not hearing as much buck passing. Well, you working on it. You're sharing information. Y'all are on the same page on certain things. And maybe y'all might have different ways of going about it, but I'm hearing a little less buck passing, and I'm feeling a little more encouraged. And in most of those conversations, I saw a city divided, and I could never see how there was any point where they could be worked together. I mean, that's what it's always been.
I'm looking at this from a whole different perspective. I'm not here to point fingers at who was sitting in the seat or the elected officials who should have been watching this or all of that. That doesn't matter. You know, we hire somebody that's our police commissioner. Okay, people still on the street getting shot. We gonna blame him for that? Okay, you could only do so much. Did they know what was going on? No, maybe they didn't monitor it as much because you hire people and you put them in place to do the job, and sometimes you put so much trust into that person, you don't pay attention to it, and you let them do what they're doing, thinking that they know what they're doing, until you finally find out that they don't. But the bottom line is, we have to just now focus on what we have to do to get past it, to get this done. Because like I said, the goal is to get this field open by 2017. We got 2016 this year to prosecute, grab these folks, do what we got to do, clean up, build this. It's not a hard thing. I do this all the time. It's not a hard thing. Build it up and get it ready. So by the time the kids are coming out of school, 2017, you got Richard Thomas there cutting a ribbon and allowing these kids to, enjoy a field and have this summer.
No doubt. Well, I just want to say one more time, Brenda Crump, always on the job. So every time we talk about something, she digs it up and she finds it. So she found the original flyer graphic that Butch Thomas had put up saying, André Wallace, where is your friends that will take away the dirt, blah, blah, blah. And they quote you saying, I checked the fill, it's item 4, it's clean fill, ...
That's the difference.
But I'm saying, so you did say that, and they quoted you saying that, so she found the graphic.
Let me tell you something. Yeah. When I speak facts. I'm not going to, and I don't take hearsay. I don't listen to what somebody said, that this one said, and then make that truth. That's why I go out there and look for myself. I go out there and go get my guys. And let me tell you, we did a thorough investigation with all of the people that I had involved. And it's just not me. There's other people who helped me put all of this stuff together to write this 75-page report and to get the pictures and all kind of stuff and kick it back and forth from engineer to engineer and all of this kind of thing. We know what we're talking about. I know what I'm talking about. And they didn't understand. And I'm not saying that Butch and the rest of them making those comments, that they know what they were talking about. They didn't understand. I'm just going to leave it at that. They didn't understand the difference between the soil and the item 4. Was there slag in the soil of what the DEC reported? Yes, but you can find slag anyway. Slag comes from a lot of things. The slag is nothing more than metal that when you're welding and stuff like that, the drippings and stuff, which could have came from the water company that was staging the operation there in the field. It's all in the report. Slag could come from different ways, a lot of different ways. So when I said the DEC's report was not, I did mine because I said it wasn't so conclusive, because they did not test the whole entire field. They didn't do all of that stuff. Their concern was mainly the staging operation of using the field to bring the dirty material and put it there with the clean material and put it there, using it as a whole nother thing. They didn't run in there to see all the different contaminants, but yes, there's contaminants in there. There's contaminants from, I'm not gonna mention names now until I finish with what we have to do in the subpoena. It'll all come out. But those companies that dump the asphalt on the field, remember, asphalt is made out of oil. There's a lot of different things that they did on this field. Now when it rains, if you go take a trip to Memorial Field, in that whole section, you get all the rainbows you want, because the rainbows is the oil popping up out the soil. So it's really bad on that part. But we're going to have them clean it up. And I've already sent the letter to stop payment on some people so that we can hold their money in escrow until we finish this investigation.
And that's great. But see, what Brenda Crump posted, see, this is why people are feeling the way they're feeling, because when things come up like this and the mayor does not reject these things, it looks like he co-signed on something like this. See, this is not professionalism. This is not what we need coming out of City Hall, and that's all I'm saying, because if you're in communication with the mayor, and this is your profession, we not, this is your profession.
And he did receive a copy of your report, right?
Yes, he got a report.
Okay.
We don't. But
this came out before the report.
I just wanted to know.
Right.
I wanted to get that the report.
But see, but we don't need this when you're making professionalism statements that which is your profession. See, and we don't. This is the confusion that I'm talking about. And this is the confusion that we don't need when we're trying to move this city forward. And that this proves my point, you know, and this is what we don't need, because if Brenda Crump can bring this flyer up, how many other people that are not listening to the show did not hear what you said? Maybe Black Westchester didn't reach them. How many of them are acting like this flyer is actually
verbatim.
True? It's actually true.
You know, when I
thing.
saw that, let me just say this. When I saw that, the day I saw that, I got a lot of people that called me, told me about it, emailed it. Even you, AJ, had told me about it and said, take a look at it and stuff. My same response was consistent to everybody. I said, it's okay. Butch is just misinformed. He doesn't understand what I'm talking about. It's okay. That's it. I don't have to go back and address it. I'm not going to call him names. I'm not going to sit back and make it into a whole big thing and try to point out why he's wrong. You know, I learned one thing. Do you want to be right, or you want to get something done?
Absolutely.
So that's the bottom line. I'm not here to try to be right and all of that. I don't care about that part. You know, now the report states everything. It shows what's what. You know, Brenda could come up. The cream and the truth. The cream
Always
will rise
rises
to
to
the
the
top,
top.
and the truth will come out. So, and then that's for Butch to understand that he made the mistake. And I'm not even going to ask him for apology. That's because apology is not for me.
Right.
The apology is for
misinforming
yourself.
and misinforming the public.
You know.
And what I wanted to say, like, those attacks are the type of attacks that people take and accuse Black Westchester and people before politics of, and that's how they do it, to attack us by sending out wrong information. You understand what I'm saying, Leslie? You're not having facts. You're not factually, like, there are pieces and elements of what is on there that's true, like puzzle pieces. But if you put them, the wrong puzzle pieces together, you know what I'm saying, you're going to get a whole different picture than what it was originally supposed to be.
But let me ask you this. What do I get out of going back and trying to destroy Butch's character?
No. And we don't want,
or anybody else.
And see, and that's the thing.
You know what I mean?
But see, that's the
I
thing.
don't get anything out of it. There's nothing to gain.
And that's the thing we wanted to. The point I was making. This is where I'm getting to. Right now on social media, that's what we're having. Character attacks, assassinations.
Yeah.
With misinformation. You understand what I'm saying? And we're trying to put an end to that. Right. You know what I'm saying? Since we do have a microphone and we do have this venue here, this forum here, and we do have the site and whoever it reaches. You know what I'm saying? So we're trying to use our forum to get, and that's what we've always tried to do. That's one of the first things I got involved in was Memorial Field, to get the correct. There was so much information coming from so many different places. People did not know and then you had so many politicians giving so many different points of views. People just didn't know what the hell was going on, and they're frustrated. So we've been on the top of trying to get to the bottom of, and this is the next process of that, the next update. And we promised from the beginning we were going to keep continuing to bring out the truth and what's going on, so the public can be informed about it.
There was a few things that I had in my platform when I campaigned. Memorial Field was one of them. I said, I'm going to get involved and we're going to get it done. I'm getting involved, we're going to get it done. Quality of life was an issue. I'm going to get involved, we're going to correct it. So everything I've said when I ran to right now and moving forward has been consistent. It's just like with the item 4, when everybody blasted me about it and all the stories came out with the soil in the item 4 and this and that. I stayed consistent. I stood with what I said. I know what I said when I said it. You know, I've even had one lady stop me on the corner. I can't remember her name, but she stopped me on the corner to argue with me that I said that that it was contaminated. This and fighting with the same thing that they've seen. And as I explained it to her, when I corrected what was happening, she turned the whole table around and said, well, I'm not an engineer, so you need to talk in better terms that's more simpler so we can understand. So it was still my fault because I expect, because she
I read
said,
an email because she sent that out in the
yes,
email.
and she said, I don't know what's item 4. I said, well, why are you cursing me out for then if you don't understand what it is? Take the moment to listen. See, the thing is...
So what is item 4? Just
item
real
4
quick.
is nothing more than crush stone and rocks and gravel, mixed with dirt, and then you could have it like it might be type B soil mixed with it. So it's different type of ways you can make it, because it comes big, it comes small, it's grinded. It's a lot of things.
What is it used for?
Well, you use it to lay out for bedding and stuff like that. Mixing. Let's say we have cement to lay, or we want to lay a slab or something. We'll throw item 4 under it to build it up, because it's stone, crushed stone. We'll put the cement.
I know that because we had a house in Atlanta and we went to build a big deck. And before they had to put that stuff down before they actually put the concrete block, for the deck. So I wanted you to explain that.
So it's different types of item 4 too. So depending on what your use is.
Right.
So, but going back to that, it was kind of funny to me, and I went home and I was telling my wife about it too, and others. I was like, hey, lady just kind of told me off and everything, and then when I explained it to her, she told me off and made it still my fault.
Right.
Then when I told her,
it's your fault that she doesn't understand what you said.
Right.
After you explained it to her.
Then after I finished with that, I was saying, okay, ma'am, well, you know what? I'm about to put out my report on Memorial Field. Then she said, well, it looks like you're doing this all by yourself and not working with the mayor, and you should be working with him instead of doing it yourself. I'm so disappointed I voted for you. And then she walked off.
She put that in the email. I won't even mention the group she's in, but
am I going to go and look for her and correct her or get upset about it and all that stuff? Okay, fine. Let me tell you something. I always live by this too. Not everybody like Jesus Christ. Not everybody going to like me. And that and look who he was.
Right.
You understand? So I can take it and say, okay, if you feel that way, I'm sorry. That's all. And keep it moving, because I know what I have to do. I have to focus on all of those people who did put their trust into me and elected me to do the right thing. So I'm going to keep moving forward to do that. Whether, and as I do that, there's going to be some people that have problems with it. There's going to be some people that's going to have problems with me subpoenaing people and bringing them in and all these other things.
Wait. So let me stop you right there. Let me stop you right there. So as a city councilman, how are you subpoenaing people? Because I've never heard of a city council person ever doing anything like that before.
Well, maybe the city council people before me didn't use the charter. But let me tell you, I know what's in the charter. I studied the charter before I ran for office. I know where the power lies and how to use it properly to protect the people. So I'm going to use it to the full extent with the other council members, which I have spoken to, because I'm not going to take this on as the one sole council person. I'm going to work with Marcus and the rest of them, and Roberta and Lisa, because Lisa's informed. She's got a copy of the report, because she's chairs over Memorial Field.
Right, and she's the chair over it.
Right, and we're going to do this together.
André did not. I know André did not bring up the subpoena in any interview, because the last time I brought up the subpoena power of the city council in an interview, they tried to put me in jail, man. So so I know André ain't bring that up, man. He kept that. See, I threw mine out there, what I was going to do, and they tried to put me in jail, but
well, you know what?
André kept that, but see, people don't understand the power of the city council person in Mount Vernon. They like to say that it's a strong mayorship, but no, the city is a strong city council. And if the city council is actually running the city by the city charter, the city council has more power than people think that the city council had. Ernie was smart enough that he always had his 3. He understood he understood the numbers. He understood and he said it, and he said it publicly all the time, that I have my 3. I could get my agenda across because I have my 3.
No matter what the other 2 do.
Right, and that's it's a learning experience for the
It's really unfortunate what happened to Memorial Field, and that the people gotta suffer the effects of not being able to use it. I used to run track in Memorial Field, and I had to move across the street. Actually, when I did my marathon back in 2004, 2005, I think it was the New York Marathon I did at that time, or was it the Disney? One of them. Anyway, that's where I trained. That's where I came out in the morning and was running around. Then I had to move over to, later on running and doing other events and train over in Glover Field in Pelham side.
Right.
But come on, we pay a lot of taxes, and the seniors that walk around there now, they're walking around it.
Right.
On the sidewalk outside.
Right.
And it's not fair. They're supposed to have this place back, and it's not hard to do. If we all just come together and stop playing games and stop making this political grandstand or arguing about this or who wants the credit for that and all, I don't care about the credit. Let's get it done. I don't care about none of that. Just get it built.
If Memorial Field gets built in the time frame that you said, all the people that are elected officials will come off looking good. Whether you did anything or not, you know what I'm saying? Whether you had an active involvement, whether this person did more. The fact that it got built on your watch after 2 decades of decay, you know what I'm saying, in 6 or 8 years closed, whatever it was, everyone's going to come out. Like, they can campaign on that. It was built on my watch. Even if they had nothing to do with it, they can campaign on that.
I'll say it this way then. Mayor Thomas is going to have a great platform for the next time he run because this field's going to be built in his time. And that's it. So it's going to get done. It's going to get done. And I'd like I said, I'm stamping a time on it. County legislator Lyndon Williams said that he feels the same thing. He's happy with this with the stamp time. And that we can get this done and open in 2017.
His car, right?
Yeah. Get 2017 going.
And I have to say this now. Like I said, from July, I think the unity in the community, the march from Memorial Field, I think that was June or July, 2014.
Right.
That was the first editorial that I wrote on Memorial Field. And then from that point, I've been going every step of the way, interviewing Beauvais, interviewing Rich, interviewing Pembleton. Well, actually, Janelle interviewed Pembleton and I ran it. Interviewing Ernie, interviewing Lyndon, having them all come on the show, doing a forum at your spot that we hosted. We've been running it since June 20. I've been very active on just this particular thing. And this is the first time, to be honest, that I'm not, like I said, and I have to reiterate it, it's not the regular finger pointing, one mayor saying the other mayor didn't do it. The other mayor saying, well, he changed my plans, or, a councilman saying this, or the councilman being blamed for this. Like, I'm actually hearing result-oriented comments, and we can actually see movement. And it's very encouraging, because since I've been involved since June 2014, this is probably the first, other than the tennis court did get built. So I can't take away from that actually did get built in that time too.
I believe everybody want to get it done. I know Gary Pretlow has also got some money for the city,
because he got like $1 million that he came up with.
Right.
Yeah.
So everybody's getting involved to make this happen. This is all the bickering, the election, and all that's over. All the bickering is pushed to the side. And I know everybody wants it.
And I call for everybody. Everybody has to. It's over now. It's over now.
It's over, and it's gonna
whether the result was what you wanted. Yeah. It's over.
And I'm telling you, once we start moving forward, which we already started moving forward, and within the next, I would say by sometime February, and we start to lay it out, you'll start to see action taken up. The train will start moving. There's no stopping it on getting it complete. And when we all move forward, it's going to get complete.
Only thing I ask, since we've been keeping everybody informed, that you keep us informed on the different stages that we can report it back to the people so people can actually see real movement.
That's right.
Real change, real, because at this point, that's what people want to see at this point. And I've always said that. They don't really care whose fault it was. They just want the damn thing built at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
I've been saying it already. Change is not coming. Change is here already. And things is already has changed in how we're doing things. And I see Memorial Field built in 2017. I see it in my vision. I see it in my head. And I know it's possible, and I know it could get done,
Well, you heard it here first, people.
There you go.
Before politics.
Come on.
From the man who announced his candidacy on People Before Politics and got a lot of flack for it.
That's my prediction. That's my prediction.
And now he's here to predict that Memorial Field, Councilman André Wallace is saying on the record Memorial Field will be done by 2017.
Well, that's his prediction.
That's my prediction.
That's his prediction.
And everything's lining up properly, and I think, you know,
because even at the forum, the biggest question was to Ernie at the time was, can you give us a timeline?
Right.
Like, and I was telling, and I tried to reword it. I was like, even if you're telling people it can't be done for 10 years, nobody's gonna be happy. But we'll know it can't be done for 10. Like, can you give us a timeline on a estimated time of arrival, or ETA? You know, something. You know.
I'm predicting that because I'm looking at how we're moving now and coming together, and that's my prediction. I know it can be done by then. I know it can be done. I know Lyndon is putting his whole heart into this to make sure that we get the funds to do it. I know Richard. Well, let me stop calling him like it's so. Mayor Thomas. I have to call him Mayor Thomas.
Well, the thing I can say about both of them,
I got to get used to you know, because I'm calling him
Richie,
Mayor Thomas.
The thing I have to say about both of them, because I've dealt with them since then, they're both very passionate about this, and they're both put a lot of work into it.
Yeah,
I will say that.
So I know they're both passionate. He's gonna work hard, and already, you know, when I need help on this and spoke about it, and I went to Mayor Thomas. His response was, "Whatever you need."
It's going to take some adjusting. We still going to refer to him as Richie a few times, but don't take that.
Yeah,
that's a term of endearment. That's not disrespect.
Yeah, I know. But you know, he's always said, "Let's do it." That's all he said. You know, and I'll bring to where he's gonna, what we're gonna do, how I want to approach it, and he says, "Let's do it." And whatever I need, he's there. So we have the county, we have the mayor, we have the council body. You know, we have Gary Pretlow, we have Senator Ruth, we have Klein, we get all these people. We just bring them together and make it happen. It's gonna happen. We even got Astorino gonna get involved.
Right.
So this is wonderful. You know, all of us, and then the Republican. You know, if we could work together, Democrats and Republican, that's even more of a plus. Look how wonderful this is.
Right,
this is an example for everything in this county.
Kumbaya.
Hey, listen. It can happen. It can happen.
Can we all just get along?
Can we all just get along?
All right, Rodney King.